So the next piece I want to go on to talk about is, I mean, we've touched on a lot of this already, but this is a visual representation. So this is from an old manual in the fire service, but it will serve what I need it to do for today. And this is looking at if we turned up to what we call a 15 pump incident. So that would be, to relate it to people outside, it'd be things like a thatch fire or a warehouse fire, a fairly large and significant fire. But what's important here is it's about being able to deal with large quantities of disparate information. And again, something really critical when we're talking about project management, and we're talking about strategy as well, and about how we're drawing all of this in, the strategic view of a project management, how you gain that and how you maintain that strategic view. So as you can see in this, you've got lots of different sectors which would relate to, if we say a warehouse fire, different areas of the warehouse that are on fire and need different things doing to them. You'd have different teams working in there. You've got people managing water and all these things. But actually, you could look at this as a project management. You could say all those ones to the left where it says water sector and decon sector, they're your suppliers. They're the people who are providing you with things that you need as a project manager to effectively enable your outcome. The sectors, they're going to be your working parties or your tranches or whatever it is, however it is you've broken up your project in your sprints, whatever it is those different parcels of information, different sources of data that you're going to need to take as an incident commander, as a project manager across the life cycle, and take that information and assess it. Now, the key thing here, and I was speaking to an old friend of mine from the fire service only a few weeks ago, and he's also transitioned to a different organisation from the fire service. And one of the key skills he's found is it's the ability he gained in the fire service to rapidly ingest information and decide what was the important pieces and reduce that down. And to be really able to really quickly dig into information and say, this isn't important for now, this is very important, and I need to do something with this now. And it's those skills which, again, I'm very lucky having been trained in this for many, many years, but they are skills you can learn as a project manager. It's looking at the same things over and over again, being in the same situations, having the same type of information fed to you from different stakeholders across a project, and trying to work out, well, from my experience, what's important to me now in this stage of the project? And it's refining that. And again, when we talk about the strategic view, it's finding those important pieces and then using that to influence your wider plan. And saying, okay, so now I know this chunk, how does this affect the wider plan that we've got? It's funny enough, actually. So this style of thinking is what got me interested in project data. It's understanding that data in a system or information in a system can massively affect how you react and how you plan. So if I was to say in sector 2 on that, or in work party 2, they gave me some bad data, some bad information. If they then feed my plan into my plan and make serious decisions on it, that could be the difference in life and death in the fire service. Luckily, not so much in project management, but it could be the end of the project potentially if I'm fed false information, bad information. So good data management, understanding data is really crucial, I think, in project management and information management. But anyway, won't get into that for too much today. But where I'm going with this is that we are taught in the fire service about these decision-making models. This is an older style one, but actually it's one I still use every day. And how do I apply this to project strategy and project management? It's about finding those key pieces of information you need to manage your project. So here, for example, we talk about incident information, resource information, hazards and safety. Almost they're no different to what you need as a project manager. The incident information, you change that to your project. So what are we doing this for and why? They're the questions you want to be asking at the top there. What information have I got around this? What information supports what are we doing and why are we doing it? The resource information is just the same. Who have I got to help me do this? How is that going to affect my plan? How is that going to affect how I manage this going forward? Am I going to have to do a lot more of this myself? Will that distract from me being able to take strategic view? Or actually, have I got a lot of support? If I don't have support for it, do I need to make sure I gain that support to make this effective? If I don't gain that support, do I need to now highlight that as a risk? So again, a really simple tool straight away there highlights some really important questions. And hazards and safety, just change that to risks and opportunities. what risks are going to affect this program, this project? And again, it's that strategic view that I like to take. It's looking back across the length of my project. What is going to affect delivery here? And it's not just the little technical minor the technical issues right in there. It's the wider things. What is my organization facing at the moment? Is it facing budget cuts? Is it facing staffing issues? Is it facing natural disasters? What is my organization facing that could affect my deployment of this project and the successful resolution of it? Now, as we go along that model, and I don't want to dwell on it too much, but you've got an opportunity to think there. So you take that information and you think. And like we've touched upon there, sometimes it has to be very quickly. Even in the project management world, you need to be able to refine the important bits of information and say, this is important to me now. How do I work this? And then you go to prioritizing it and saying, right, these are the things we need to do, we need to get done to move us forward. You put that into your wider plan. And then importantly, just like in project management, as I say, for me, this is a 1-for-1 for project management. You need to communicate that and control it, manage that narrative, tell people what you're doing, why you're doing it, what needs to happen next, and then move towards the outcome, but constantly reevaluating that based on the new information. Start again. Why are we doing this? What are we doing it for? What resources have I got? It's that continual loop. But again, to achieve this properly, you need to have that more strategic and more stepped back view of the entire program, the project, to get all that information you need.